Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga is laying an elaborate strategy to take down William Ruto in ODM Strongholds. As a matter of fact, William Ruto has been making serious inroads in Raila Odinga's strongholds. In the process, William Ruto has been winning some of Raila Odinga's supporters and therefore threatening Raila Odinga's dominance in the strongholds. And Raila Odinga is not taking it lightly and is coming up with a counter strategy to bring down William Ruto in the strongholds. If you look at Raila Odinga's strongholds, like Kisii currently, William Ruto is gaining there. So Raila Odinga wants to go to Kisii and reclaim Kisii. William Ruto has also been making some strategic moves in Western Kenya. As a matter of fact, there are regions now, like coastal region, the Ma community, places like Northern Kenya, where William Ruto is almost at par with Raila Odinga. So in this video, I want us to look at the strategies which Raila Odinga is actually laying, and William Ruto is not going to find it easy in some of those Raila Odinga's strongholds. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And I want to ask you guys to, for this particular video, give it thumbs up. And I want to thank those who always support this channel in one way or the other. You can also support this channel through the numbers on your screen. And on the same breath, allow me to introduce you guys to Brics Solutions. In case you want to develop your website, in case you want software development, in case you want mobile app development, in case you want networking solutions. In fact, CCTVs, these are the best. I know most of you have always asked me, Lee, where can I get someone to help me with my CCTVs? For payment integrations, please kindly contact Brics Solutions using the numbers you are seeing there. And also you can also visit their website so that you can see what they are able to do. Now let us get back to business. The fact of the matter is that if you look and compared Raila Odinga's performance in the last election to the previous elections, Raila Odinga's strongholds did not really perform well. William Ruto was very clear with what he wanted to do with Raila Odinga's strongholds. His strategy was simple: ensure that the turnout in those regions are low. And in places where he was not sure, like Kakamega and Mombasa, he ensured that he engineered low turnout by ensuring that Wafula Chebukati postponed the gubernatorial elections in those regions. The effect is that he was able to be declared the president using IEBC figures. In fact, the other day I was talking to someone that Raila Odinga ought to have done certain things differently. And the person told me that there was no way Raila Odinga would have won this presidency, because the international community had conspired with IEBC to declare Ruto the president of the Republic of Kenya. And that's something we are not going to deal with in this particular video. In this video, I want us to look at the strategies which Raila Odinga is laying and has caught William Ruto and his team by surprise. Number one, Raila Odinga and his team are currently identifying where Ruto is strong in their strongholds. And then they're coming up with a counter strategy to neutralize his influence. For example, they are figuring out in Kisii, why is William Ruto gaining in Kisii, for example? What is his strength? What is he doing that we are not doing? And how can we deal with what he's doing? For example, if you go to a place like Makwiny, Raila Odinga is identifying William Ruto's strengths in those regions. Why is he gaining in those regions? So they are trying to figure out, is it because of his association with Uhuru Kenyatta? Because, for example, in the coastal region, you can confidently claim that Ruto was able to make inroads because of Raila Odinga's association with Uhuru Kenyatta, especially on the issue of the port. Because William Ruto was able to go to the coastal region and he was able to convince them that Uhuru took the port of Mombasa from Mombasa and transferred it to Naivasha, not because of any other thing, in his private farm. And therefore, he transferred the work and the jobs opportunity for the coastal people to Naivasha. And that was a big campaign issue. So Raila Odinga is trying to figure out why Ruto is doing well in some aspect, and then he's going to deal and come up with a counter strategy to neutralize William Ruto. So that is the first thing, and it's the first time Raila Odinga is doing this. Number two, Raila Odinga is also coming up with strategic alliances. If you are keen, you should have noted that Raila Odinga is doing something a bit different. Why do you think Raila Odinga brought Wajakoya on board? Or why do you think he's working very closely with Eugene Wamalwa? Or why do you think Joho has been brought back? It's because of strategic alliances. Raila Odinga realized, for example, in the coastal region, without Joho, things were not moving. So Joho had to be recalled from wherever he was. And an alliance, a serious one, is going to be created. Wajakoya has been brought to deal with the issue of Western Kenya. He was a presidential candidate who had the support, but people could not vote for him. But bringing him to Kakamega is adding some value to that campaign. So it's strategic alliances. Why do you think Raila Odinga is currently working with Mwangi wa Iria? It's because of the same strategic alliances. Oparanya. In Kisii, he brought the governor, Arati. But Arati is currently working with Ruto, and it's not steadfast. So Raila Odinga is still looking for someone, either a member of parliament, or Onyonka, is always shaky because he's pro-system always, but very strong. But Raila Odinga is trying to figure out how he can get strategic alliances in Kisii. In northern Kenya, he did it successfully in the last election, but the group of Ali Roba then went to Kenya Kwanza. So he's still also trying to come up with strategic alliances. Those strategic alliances are meant to lock Ruto out. I want to give you a typical example. There's this gentleman called David Posing. You see, the member of parliament for Pokot South. That guy is currently very popular on the ground there. The other day, he was received like a hero. So Raila Odinga is working with him to sustain the Pokot votes, because Pokot votes have always voted with Raila Odinga. He's doing this because Lonyangapuo left. So that's something Raila Odinga is currently doing. The third thing which you'll start seeing is targeted messaging, which are aimed at Ruto's efforts. William Ruto currently is the president of the Republic of Kenya because he was sworn in and is the commander-in-chief. William Ruto has been making appointments. Those appointments are tribal. So Raila Odinga and his team will start going outside there and point out some of these issues because those are the targeted messaging. You go to coastal region, for example, then you tell the people of the coastal region that when William Ruto took over, he ensured that he appointed Davis Chirchir as the cabinet secretary for energy. What is the impact? The effect is that Kenya Pipeline MD is a Kalenjin. Kenya Ports Authority MD is a Kalenjin. I think Kenya Power, Kalenjin. So basically, they're taking over the energy sector. In transport, they're also doing the same. You have Kipchumba Murkomen, you have Ports Authority. So these are things which are going to come up. The tribal appointments. Those are targeted messaging. Messaging which will be tailored. Like if he goes to the mountain, which is not his stronghold anyway, but if he goes there, the people of the mountain, like today I saw Pauline Njoroge made a post that of the appointments which were made recently, 80% of serious appointments have gone to the Kalenjin. For example, most people don't even know that Kenya Airport Authority appointed the former member of parliament for Soy as the chair of the board. In fact, there's a joke that the person who appointed Sang to be the MD of Kenya Pipeline, another Kalenjin lady there, the chair of the board, a Kalenjin. Then Ruto made a phone call to the minister, who then made a phone call to the chair of the board, who then called Sang to report to work. So those targeted messaging, we are going to start seeing them coming up soon. The fourth strategy, and this is the one which they are starting to implement next week, is checkmating the rebels. You know, if you go to Nyanza today, there are rebels. Game, Elisho Diambo, already they've identified someone who is going to act as a member of parliament. You go to Rongo, they are identifying someone who is going to act as a member of parliament instead of the current MP. Remember during a Kodes wedding, the way Mama Ida heaped praises on Osiany. So I'm also praying for Osiany down there. You go to Uriri, they are planning someone. In Kisumu here, it's sorted because Ojenda wanted to become the governor. Dr. Ron is now being propelled under Owili as the leading candidates for the gubernatorial seat there. So some of these guys are going to create checkmates, including those in the Western Kenya who are already working with Ruto. Those in the coast, ODM members of parliament from coast who are working with Ruto, they are going to come up with checkmates who will put them on toes. And Raila Odinga, number 5, is also planning grassroots reactivation. You know, ODM party is the only party in this country with serious grassroots networks from the polling station. In fact, if you want to understand that Raila Odinga was actually sabotaged in the last election, there was no need for Azimio to look for agents while ODM has structures up to the polling stations. That when a list was submitted by ODM, then Karanja Kibicho and the team wanted to vet those lists. And that's how they removed agents, ODM agents. So Raila Odinga is trying to reactivate his network, the ODM grassroots support from the polling station, so that at any polling station, if you ask around who is the chair of ODM here, then they'll be able to get 20 people. Who is the ODM chairperson up there? They'll be able to tell you. Some of these networks have been destroyed because a few guys moved out, they were never replaced. So they want to reactivate, replace those who left, so that the branches from the polling stations can actually become more active again. And lastly, Raila Odinga is also coming up with regional kingpins. It's going to be difficult for him, but he's coming up with regional kingpins. You know, Raila Odinga's campaign and strategy has always been to use county governors. So that in Kilifi, for example, in the last election, he used Kingi. When Kingi left, now Mungaro is there. He's likely to have Mungaro. Then you are going to have Joho there. You are going to have, for example, in Coast, he's going to have Joho. In Western, he's going to have Oparanya. In Nyanza, he's there. In Northern Kenya, Raila Odinga is going to create some regional kingpins and some tribal leaders within ODM party. I don't know what to think. Do you think these strategies are going to work? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. And I really want to appreciate your support up to this stage. If you've supported this channel, if you watched up to this stage, please mark yourself as present in the comment section so that I can really know those who are here with me. Thank you, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.